We now are going to move on to our next speaker, Dr. Abhinav Humar, who would like to share some warm words about about his dad. Dr. Humar is the chief of the transplantation program at the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, clinical director of the Thomas E. Starzl Transplantation Institute, and professor in the Department of Surgery at the University of Pittsburgh Medical School. He specializes in the transplantation of kidney, liver, pancreas, and bowels. He was the lead author of Atlas of Organ Transplantation. Dr. Humar was selected as top doctor in Minneapolis St. Paul magazine from 2005 to 2008 and by Pittsburgh magazine from 2011 to 2020. Pittsburgh Next magazine selected him as one of the 25 the city cannot live without. Therefore, I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Humar. You have the stage.
Thanks very much, Sujata, for that kind introduction. Well, on behalf of my family, thank you all for joining today, and really for everyone for their very kind words. This award is obviously a tremendous honor for our entire family, but it really only reaffirms what we have known for so many years, which is what an incredible person Papa is. Growing up, we always knew how brilliant he was. In those days, there was no such thing as Google. But we never really needed it because Papa knew everything about everything. You could come to him really with any problem and he could solve it, whether it was something around the house, something you were trying to build, something you were trying to fix, or your school subject. It didn't really matter what it was. Math, physics, English. He always knew the answer. And if by chance it was one of those rare subjects that he didn't know, he could incredibly just pick up the book or the manual, read it, and figure it out for you. It was really such an incredible experience growing up in that environment. And over the years, as I sort of look back, especially in the context of what I've done, I can tell you that really I continue to be more and more amazed and really awestruck by what he has achieved and what he continues to do really on daily basis to this very day. I've seen a lot of people that have achieved success, and most that do achieve it by excelling at one specific skill or task. They're very good at their business, or they're very good at a specific skill. But Papa is one of those unique individuals that excel really at whatever he puts his mind to. He is what you would call the quintessential Renaissance man at a time period when really many of us don't even realize what that entails. So you've heard from his colleagues regarding his academic brilliance and his innumerable achievements, and I'm not going to harp on that. But I think one thing that I will say that, if you really want to learn about, especially an academician, you should speak to the person's students and what they think about them and their accomplishments. And certainly every student that I've ever spoken to about Papa literally reveres him, and I think that's the right word, reveres, because when they talk about him, as Ruchi had mentioned, they talk about him as the god of structural engineering, and that's really the high esteem that they hold him in. But what's really incredible to me is that his academic achievements are really just the tip of the iceberg, and it really is amazing how accomplished he is in so many other areas. My childhood is filled with fond memories of Papa singing old Kishore and Mohammed Rafi songs, and those are great memories. But I didn't really realize what a music and a literary talent he was until I became older and saw the poems that he was writing, and which he continues to write on this day, performing at Kavi Sammelans, publishing poetry books, and literally that talent of being able to compose a poem at a moment's notice to suit virtually any occasion. Now, beyond his literary talents, I think one of the things that has always impressed myself most is what I would term Papa's moral, social, and religious conscience. Now, many people speak about terms such as this and their beliefs and expound them, but But I think Papa has always believed that actions speak louder than words. And he has always been a man in action. Whether it's his work with the Gandhi Society and championing the teachings of the Mahatma, his work with the Jain Society and spreading the principles of Jainism, or his international projects such as the Pragati Ashram to further women empowerment, or the building of schools to develop young minds. He's always been, for as long as I can remember, he has always been doing these things with seemingly limitless energy and enthusiasm. You know, people sometimes will come up to me and say that, well, you yourself, Rachna and Atul have done well in life. And I really think to myself, you know, how could we not? How could we not, growing up in that environment that we did, with literally limitless love and unconditional love that we had from our mother, and Papa giving us the guidance for really being our moral compass, and being the best example really that anyone could ask for. So on behalf of the entire family, Papa, our sincerest congratulations on this very, very well-deserved honor, and obviously our undying gratitude for a lifetime of support and guidance. Thanks.
Thank you, Abhi. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhinav. That was very, very kind of you and spoken truly from the heart, which is why when you speak, the most important messages often come from family, because you not only see them on the professional side, you see them on the inside and their personal lives at home. So that is a very touching and lovely tribute to your dad.